Oh, what's up, Solutionaries? Welcome everybody to the Maj 2 Show. Welcome y'all. It's Wednesday. Today's date, the 17th of December in the year 2025. A couple of weeks left in 2025. Shouts to everybody. Y'all know the routine. Come in. Let me know what city you watching from. Comment. Throw the comments in there if you're watching on youtube.com/Maj2Ray. Jump in the chat. If you're watching on X, repost all over the place. Share the space all over the place. Today, we're going to have a discussion about a few things as we do every week. Wednesday, 8 p.m. When somebody opens fire, chaos spreads in seconds and most people freeze, as we saw in the shooting in Australia and in Rhode Island. Most people have no idea what to do. Tonight, we're breaking down real world situations that prove this simple fact. Shocking Bondi Beach shooting where good people were caught off guard. Tragic death of Rob Reiner at the hands of someone he trusted. And of course, we're covering the conflict between Erika Kirk and Candace Owens and more. If you're new here, I'm Maj2Ray, the founder of Solutionary University and Black Guns Matter. I've spent years teaching people how to stay capable, take control of their lives, and protect themselves. So that's what qualifies me to have this conversation tonight. But the reality is, most men leave their families unprotected without even realizing it. They haven't pushed their strength. They haven't pushed themselves to a limit. They don't actually know how to handle a real emergency. They lack the skills, awareness, and confidence to act when it matters most. These examples showcase this, and we're going to talk about it tonight. But I also want to make sure that you guys are not one of them. Do not be one of these people that was out there just flailing in the wind. That's where our Solutionary 9 comes in, which is our private community that gives you the mindset training and real world skills to handle whatever life throws at you. Learn how to protect yourself and your family, understand your rights, build physical and mental resilience, and master practical skills that most men never develop. What's up, Bookworm? What's up, Vinzinger? Al B. Fresh over there from Detroit. What's up, y'all? Come on in. Big Rob, what's up? Marcus, thanks for the repost. Appreciate y'all. Let's get the numbers up. Everybody smash the like button. Y'all know the routine. We need everybody's help. Y'all know we went to doing the live show once a week. We a hump day show now. We try to get everybody, pushing towards the rest of the week. We try to give you guys some good information on what the stories that happened before. And if you are not subscribed to the show, please subscribe to the channel. Wherever you're watching this on, subscribe. youtube.com/Maj2Ray, Rumble, whatever. Whatever. All right. Also, guys, legacy access to the Solutionary 9 closes in 14 days. You get access to the private community that I was just talking about, coaching, and every Solutionary course we offer for only $99, but that price will be going up. I want y'all to understand. Somebody actually just got a class right now. Somebody just got what class is this? They just got a gun safety class. Let's see who that is real quick. I don't know who that is, but let's find out. Well, I'll get to it in a second. Anyway, guys, legacy access closes January the 1st. It's going from $99 to $999. All right. Join by clicking the link in the description box below or head over to Solutionary University. Anyway, guys, tonight's segment. We got all of the homework shit out the way. First, we're going to start with Candace Owens and what's it called? Erika Kirk. Shania, what's up? Shania just told y'all what time it is. Shania said $99 to $999. I suggest everyone get it while the getting is good, 100%. Shania's in there. Shania's lost weight. Shania's focusing on her company, her soap company, Yoni Steam soaps and all of that. Y'all should, come on. This is not even, I didn't pay Shania to say that, but she's a solutionary. All right. Tonight's topics, guys. First, Erika Kirk versus Candace Owens. Now, let's give a little bit of a backstory. Obviously, you guys know Charlie Kirk was murdered. Erika Kirk is his widowed wife. The public was told Candace Owens was going to debate TPUSA. That's what they said. Instead, she met privately with Erika Kirk, and nobody knows what was actually said. The private meeting never gave either side clarity or answers to their supporters. Now, I got a video of Candace kind of talking about it. I've done Candace's show. The politics shit, I think it's all cap. Okay? I believe it's all cap. So I kind of like, when we have conversations about these things on the show, my job is to give you guys solutions. We are solutionaries. That's my job. All right? Some believe Candace or her family was threatened, pointing to how different she appeared on her show afterwards. And to be honest, a public, open, and honest discussion was the only way to establish some clarity and truth. That never fucking happened. It never happened. Okay? And the questions that I got to ask for some of that, and I'm going to go over this little article real quick. Actually, let's read the article now here first. Candace Owens won't take back conspiracies about Charlie Kirk's death after meeting with Erika Kirk. All right? This is from CNN. So y'all know we try to give a balanced take. Sometimes it's CNN, sometimes it's Fox, sometimes it's Al Jazeera, sometimes it's whoever. All right? In the first podcast episode after what she described as a 4.5-hour conversation with Erika Kirk, conservative podcaster Candace Owens said Tuesday she still does not believe that the person charged with murder for Charlie Kirk's death is solely responsible. Let me pause right there, y'all. I want to be very clear on what my somewhat backtrack is. I sometimes forget, and I want y'all to also understand and recognize this. I sometimes forget that the general public may not know as much about firearms as myself or other people in my circle, okay? When somebody starts to speak in absolutes, I immediately start getting, like, spidey senses go up. And when somebody has an absolute that Tyler Robinson absolutely did this, I go, all right, show me some video of the person, because y'all got video of supposedly was him walking somewhere in the street and jumping off the roof and all of that. Show me a video of him walking up the steps onto the roof. And we have not seen any of that. That does not mean that it won't come out in trial, because that's the nuanced approach. If you're tapping into the Maj 2 ratio, if you're a solutionary, you have a nuanced and objective approach. A lot of those things aren't made available to the public until the trial. Okay? The problem is the FBI looks like an absolute shit show around this, and the public faith and sentiment in alphabet agencies is damn near non-existent, and it should be. We got no word today that Dan Bongino, who I've also done this show, the critiques of these people is not an attack on them as humans. Dan Bongino is stepping down from being number 2 over at the FBI. I don't even know if it's been a whole year and some change yet. Okay? However, the FBI botched this shit, or at least it looks like that from the outside. There's no actual footage of us seeing Tyler Robinson going up on the roof. They say it's pictures, this, that, and the third. This place has this college campus. It's not a fucking cheap-ass community college. Okay? Got some money. They got some cameras. Things look weird. There's no footage. So you ask questions naturally. When you start getting too much pushback or people starting to ridicule you, my spidey senses go up. And that's where I think Candace was winning and asking certain questions. I do not believe this official narrative because federal agencies do not communicate things effectively. This particular administration doesn't communicate things effectively. They're too contradictory. 1 minute, it's the Epstein files are coming. We got the binders. Next minute, are we still talking about Epstein? It's too many contradictory statements. So I'm giving carte blanche to people that's asking questions. And you should too. Okay? So no, I don't believe, me personally, I don't believe the so-called official narrative. I do not. And for several reasons, as I said, there's nothing wrong with having those reasons. I don't want anybody for any moment to start jumping around here thinking you're supposed to believe the federal fucking government. Okay? I don't. I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong, but I don't. So Candace says that she still does not believe that the person charged with murder for Charlie Kirk's death is solely responsible. Give me some comments in the chat. Tell me if y'all think Tyler Robinson is solely responsible. I'm telling you from the beginning, I'm low-key tired of talking about it. And to a certain extent, I'm like, damn, is that the play to just tire us out because there's so many theories? I'm seeing people argue about 30-06, and don't get me wrong. If we don't know the rifle, if we don't have the actual gun, we can't see the grooves in the actual rifling itself and the rounds. There's too many questions that we can't fully have a full answer with. If my initial question asked was, do I think this was a 30-06? No, I don't. This does not mean if I don't know how much grains, what grains, what kind of load, pause, all of these different things, those are legitimate questions and we don't have those answers. Partly because the FBI did such a horrible answer. They did such a horrible job. So I don't think it, but I want to hear from y'all too. And I'm staying open as solutionaries. We are consistently open to new information. But when you see people fighting so hard and like we see damn near both so-called sides rushing to pre-approved talking points, and I'm one of the very few people that I've seen be very objective about it. I start to go, it seems like both of y'all got an interest in just telling your side story. On one side, it seems like it's the ultimate conspiracy. And it's the government and it's everybody and it's Egyptian planes and Jews, and that's one side. They get their money off that. The other side seems like the government cover-up shit. As opposed to the objective side, you guys as solutionaries that go, even saying, damn, I got a little bit of fatigue about this shit, and then going, is the play to get people to be fatigued and become nihilistic? Okay? Wild Self says, solely responsible is doing some heavy lifting. Al B. Fresh says, why assemble and disassemble, reassemble the rifle? Legitimate questions. To me, either the FBI's doing some more of that 4D chess that they said Trump was doing and keeping everybody off so we don't tank the jury pool, whatever, right? Or it just looks like a shit show. And to me, it looks like a shit show. It looks like a shit show just like COVID, just like weapons of mass destruction, just like now we got to go into Venezuela because of drugs, all of that. But anyway, let's read some more. Erika Kirk's efforts to tamp down on speculation about her husband's murder have not appeared to dissuade Owens, one of the nation's most watched personalities, who has seen her prominence grow while boosting conspiracy theories and anti-Semitic tropes about Charlie Kirk's death. So that's where I start going, okay, when you start saying I'm a conspiracy theorist, and when you start saying you anti-Semitic, for asking questions, I tend to go, maybe there's something here. Just disprove the person. Don't like, oh, but you can't because there's not enough information. Guys, even down to the 30-06 conversation, one of my first responses was, that doesn't seem like a 30-06 because of what 30-06 rounds usually do. But there is information that happens. I did a whole breakdown of maybe why it could be 8 to 10 angle of a distance, assuming from the roof, the diameter of a 30-06 round, the separation between certain vertebrae, maybe it hits 2 or 3 vertebrae. Every single 30-06 round is not going to have an exit wound. Most times it will. Now it's oversimplified when you say bullets do strange things, and that's true. But you got to explain that to the people, and that's why the Maj Toure ratio exists. Saying this to say, there's too many unanswered questions and there's too many question marks, in my opinion. But when CNN or other people say conspiracy theorist, to me that just looks like, that's like somebody calling me an Uncle Tom. You think that is a diss, and you're trying to dissuade me from doing a certain behavior. Never mind the fact that Uncle Tom was the protagonist hero of nobility in the story. You ain't even fucking read Uncle Tom's Cabin. If you call me an Uncle Tom, if it's a slur, you should call me Quimbo or Sambo. I posted about that yesterday too. My point is, when certain things like this go off, my spidey senses, my 2 race senses just start tingling. I'm not going to pretend like Erika Kirk looks like she's cool. There's so many questions around her background. Anyway, they say she's boosting conspiracy theories and anti-Semitic tropes about Charlie Kirk's death. Owens said Tuesday that her suspicions about certain employees at Turning Point USA, the conservative organizing group Kirk co-founded and where she once worked, hadn't been assuaged by her meeting with Erika Kirk and other Turning Point staffers. Owens heavily implied she believes Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's death. Let me stop right there for a second. I want y'all to stop saying Israel. The fucking people of Israel, the country, had nothing to do with this shit. Say the Israeli government. High-ranking Israeli government officials, donors, and people involved in those lobbying groups. When something is worthy of being talked about, you should talk about it effectively and thoroughly. Okay? When you say Israel, they can package you easier. Not saying that they won't try if you're very on point, but they can say you're anti-Semitic. Because that's just like saying the Americans are down with the death in Palestine. Most of you are like, we don't want any wars. We didn't have shit to do with it. That was the government. That was the United States government. Same concept. So that's some free game for y'all. We solutionaries. If you're being critical of a government, the state, the Israeli government, individuals and organizations, not collective conversation. Okay? Now, if they're taking her out of context, that's CNN. But I'm telling you guys how to communicate this thing properly for maximum benefit. And then when somebody goes, you're anti-Semitic, you can go, I'm talking about the government. What are you talking about? There's no attack on the people of the Jewish faith. See, y'all got to get media training, but that's what y'all tapping to me for. You tapping to Big Daddy 2 Ray for that reason. I understand. Anyway, Owens heavily implies she believes Israel had something to do with Kirk's death, promoting an unsubstantiated theory that Israeli officials have denied. And some of her critics say it's evidence that she is boosting anti-Semitism. See? Owens' campaign following Kirk's September the 10th assassination has driven deep divisions within the MAGA influencer world. Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, and comedian Dave Smith. First of all, Dave Smith is a libertarian. So this is CNN. He's not a fucking conservative. He's a libertarian. Have all defended her to some degree, while Tim Pool and Ben Shapiro have both described Owens' actions as evil, and Nick Fuentes has said she's a narcissist hurting America. Isn't that fucking rich? This little goofball is saying she's hurting America. The person that just said last week, blacks should be in jail for the most part. If anybody in here is like dick riding Nick Fuentes, unfollow me. Stop watching my shit. You a fucking clown. You a collectivist. I just want to throw that out there real quick. But he's saying she's a narcissist hurting America. Tyler Robinson, 22, has been charged with aggravated murder in Kirk's death, and authorities have said bullet casings from the shooting were inscribed with internet and video game memes, including "Hey Fascist, Catch." Prosecutors have also released text messages between Robinson and his roommate, in which Robinson says he shot Kirk because he had enough of his hatred. Robinson has not yet entered the plea. Stop. If you believe that shit right there, I love you to life. Love you. God bless your heart. If you believe that shit right there, I got a bridge in Philly to sell you. Straight like that. Straight like that. If you believe that, I got a bridge to sell you in Philly. I'm going to throw in a Liberty Bell. It's got a little crack in it. I give you that for a little discount too. The texting back and forth read like everything somebody pretending to what two teenagers would talk like, or early 20-year-olds. I don't believe this shit. 1 minute it was he admitted it to his dad and his dad brought him in. The next minute he's not entered a plea and he has not pled guilty to anything. No court in the court, no cameras, family not allowed in. That looks suspect. What the fuck? In America, we should have in open courts. And then the bullet casings. Now, again, guys, as solutionaries, we are objective. Some of these things, how this goes, regardless of how I feel and what my spidey senses are telling me, look at how the system operates as it relates to what is the standard operational procedure. Gather all evidence, hold it, be mum's the word on it, because we don't want to taint a potential jury pool. And we hold on to the evidence. The evidence is given to the defense in discovery. The defense can mount their defense unless he takes a plea deal and whatever. Okay? But I ain't seen no damn casing. The rifle that they said was the rifle in that picture was not the rifle that they said it was. Again, this shit has been a clusterfuck. That might not just be the FBI. That might be the media. Somebody grabbed the picture and said, this it, and now everybody's running with it. We just simply don't know enough. I want you guys to maintain a certain thought process of, I do not have all the information. That looks like that potentially could go this way. This looks like absolute horseshit. This, regardless of what I feel, this is a fact. That is how you maintain objectivity, nuance, and balance. Stoicism. Okay? When I'm having a conversation about 30-06, I can tell you why I think it's not, but then I can also say, here are some of the reasons why it could be, though. And if I don't have the rifle, and we have not retrieved the actual round, there's too many, you don't know how much, what grains, what is too many questions. I want you as a solutionary to exist in that space. You can't be fed bullshit, you won't receive bullshit, and you won't jump out there to just, for your confirmation bias. If you lean too much to either way, it's potentially you gonna get fucking tricked. I want to be very clear about that. Let's read a little bit more. Owens has instead suggested France, Israel, and Egypt might have been involved, that Charlie Kirk was betrayed by people close to him, and that state and federal law enforcement are covering up a bigger crime. Here's where I call bullshit, or why I would lean towards this being bullshit. You got to produce why they would do it. You got to say, why is France and Israel and Egypt involved? I can see the Israeli government connection, especially big donors. That conversation about $150 million donation, whatever. Okay? And that kind of makes sense. France, Egypt, different conversation. But something that does add to this is, why the fuck did y'all cement over his death scene, his murder scene, in less than a week? That looks weird to me. No different than when they hosed off the roof with a guy that supposedly shot at Donald Trump in Butler, PA. Why are y'all cleaning off a fucking crime scene? That doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me. All of this starts to look like, why are y'all making me do, it looks like a sleight of hand. Look over here, not over here. That's what it looks like, starts to look like to me. When I start getting fatigued about something, and I'm generally stoic, when I start getting fatigued, I start going, why are y'all trying to make me fatigued? Then everybody's arguing back and forth. And then don't nobody yada, 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 whoop-de-whoop, whoop, whoop. Now people just go, fuck it. Then $11 trillion package or however much goes to this country, this country, this country. Tonight, Trump is potentially going to be talking about going to war with Venezuela. Yet again, we will call conspiracy theorists for saying this has nothing to do with narco-terrorism. This has more to do with Venezuelan oil. Now, if you just saying we gangsters and we going to take your shit, at least you're being honest. But you can't say that because you campaigned as no new wars. But now when Trump is literally on the news today saying they took our oil, even though it's their country, then we get right back to, oh, it was about the fucking oil. So something that looks like a conspiracy theory or somebody says it's a conspiracy theory, conspiracy theorists is batting the bajillion right now. There's stories that just came out 2 days ago. They putting black labels on the fucking COVID vaccines. These shits got problems with myocarditis, like people said 5 years ago. There's going to be this problem, this problem, this problem. Meanwhile, this administration has not arrested Fauci. You ain't even heard a conversation about Fauci. He did the Homer Simpson meme. Back right the fuck up into the grass. So I'm saying all of this to say, when somebody comes out and says this shit look crazy and this, that, and the third, and then the media, it seems like all of them damn near converge to say this person's crazy. She's tearing apart America, yada, yada, yada. I hear the same thing as people told me, you a granny killer because you not wearing a mask and you not taking a jab. And I don't believe it. And don't fall for this thing that you're supposed to only believe it because you don't have all of the answers. Let me tell y'all something. Absence of evidence is not evidence that the thing is wrong. If I'm absent of evidence right now, doesn't mean that my theory is wrong. It just means I have absence of evidence. But the other evidence is, the question that you got to ask is, do you generally believe this 122-year-old killed Charlie Kirk by himself? Do you believe that official narrative? I don't. There's certain things that are questionable. There's certain things that are absolutely bullshit. And I'm still open to saying maybe in the trial. Let's read some more. By Owens' retelling, Erika Kirk came prepared to debunk some of Owens' claims, bringing phone records and having Owens speak to a lawyer to explain how the investigation would proceed through court. That's my point. But Owens said Turning Point did not have any inside information on the investigation and no access to unseen evidence. Quote, with that in mind, I'm saying, why is the public being gaslit on this? End quote. Owens said she called the evidence presented in the police affidavit faking gay. One of her catchphrases. Erika Kirk has not commented on the meeting beyond the post Monday night on X, which she said a very productive conversation with Owens and was turning her attention to America Fest, a signature Turning Point event scheduled to feature several top officials in the President Donald Trump's administration and conservative influences. Let me stop this real quick. Let me jump here real quick, y'all. To me, this is a question that we need to ask. Was the audience manipulated by a staged conflict designed to distract? Or were these just the ramblings of a woman scorned who just wanted a bit of frustration from one of her ex-lovers, her friend, the state? Because that's what it's looking like to me. I want to go on record again. I was one of the first people years ago that said they doing something, meaning Charlie and Candace, before they were married. That was one of my, I've been at events and I'm like, that looks strange. Y'all didn't know that Candace lived in Philly, right? Y'all didn't know that. I did. So certain things look strange. I said this on one of the episodes. To me, she reminds me of how Little Kim responded at Biggie's funeral. Just Biggie was married to fucking Faith. Little Kim was going insane. Okay? Through all of this situation with them, I want to be very clear. In no way, shape, or form, no way, fucking shape, or form, trust politicians, political figures, millionaire influencers. They all look like they just trying to regroup on their story, profiting when the public argues. In the last fucking week, however many umpteen trillions of dollars have went to Ukraine and Israel in packages and support. While we've been talking about this, mind you, this same chick, Candace, said, yo, there's a 9/11 style situation that's going to happen in the middle of fucking December. Then we got this shit, and we're going to talk about this tonight, the shooting in Australia, then the shooting at Rhode Island. I think it's a bit of a reach, but if she's right, how did she know? I think all of these people are fucking distractions. They're not talking about the economy. They're not talking about the massive surveillance state. They're not talking about all of this like absolute flood of all of this damn surveillance bills just being flooded right now. Like all last week. All last week. Shouts to Alexa138 with the $20 super chat. Appreciate you for that. 100%. Guys, that means we need 9 more. We try to get 9 folks per show. At the $20, you guys supporting our work, firearms work, conflict resolution, all that other good stuff. I don't trust politicians, y'all. I don't trust politicians and people that's politically adjacent. My last few hopes for politicians are reserved for, and I'm scared. I know Thomas Massey. I'm scared that if he get in there, he gonna turn into something else. I think he holding it down, but I'm scared. Rand Paul, Thomas Massey, and you guys. The reason why we have a civics class that is a part of the Solutionary University, Also, guys, the price of that is $99. Everybody that donates $99 or more, you get grandfathered in. I'll go over it again later in the show. But we have a bunch of just got Know Your Rights. Jason Basler from Project has a class over there. Stop the Bleed. We got coming. All of the classes, you get access to them, videos and curriculums, $99. It goes up to $999 January the 1st. But anyway, one of those classes is civics. My last hope, one of my few remaining hopes, is for a few guys that I'm like, okay, I respect these guys as politicians, public servants, and you. I believe that if we inform enough of the population and then have you guys that are principled, that understand limiting government, the Constitution, civics, all of those different things, that are pushing for a constitutional republic, that's where my hope lies. Not in any of these people. It's just not. I don't have any faith in these people. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. It's just me going, I know that y'all see where y'all bread is buttered at. Nothing wrong with that. Let's check this out before we move on. Again, guys, hit the like button. Let's play this real quick, guys. Let me know. Oh, man. I done lost the audio. Never mind. We ain't even doing that. Fuck all that. We ain't even doing all, because what we not going to do is struggle with the audio. That's what we not going to do. All right? That's the Candace Owens conversation, guys. Tell me what y'all think, though. I don't trust any of this. Candace Owens did nothing, said nothing to give us any clarity on what the conversation was about. To me, it looked like y'all had a conference, if y'all even had it. Do we have any video of y'all meeting, being in there? Do we? Maybe there was. Maybe it was. I don't know. I ain't see the shit. But to me, it looked like y'all was like grift coordinating. Y'all was like, hey, we got to get on the same page. It's the same as when Pam Bondi said, oh, the Epstein files, a ton of them, boatloads of them, they on my desk. Then months ago, Kash Patel said, yeah, I done read everything. Then they fast forward to, oh, no, it's nothing. It's not there. It's not real. It's nothing serious in there. This Friday, the Epstein files are being set to be released. Ironically, Dan Bongino is stepping down. Okay? These things are contradictory. And I think then they start going, okay, let's coordinate our stories and let's get it right. This is what this looks like to me. This looks like somebody got paid. Look, y'all got to pay me off. Y'all know I got a sellout number. It's $800 million. I take $400 million in Bitcoin for me to stop talking my shit, or just keep ignoring me, or just maybe I'm already in the Illuminati. You never know. You never know. You never know. My point is, you don't ever know. So take everything with a fucking grain of salt. I do not trust these people. This shit looks too questionable, and there have been no actual answers. While she says, I still don't believe that Main Man is the dude. I just, it's not my cup of tea, y'all. It's not my cup of tea at all. Guys, givesendgo.com/solutionary. Make sure you guys are all supporting the actual work. We talk about these things on the show to get towards our actual work. Our actual work. Hold on, what the hell is this? And our actual work is community work. Let's see what we got here, guys. Next, let's talk about Rob Reiner. Oh, look. Shania said, don't start talking about Illuminati shit, Maj. We know you talk about the matching Bentleys. You never know. I might have a Bentley already. You never know, guys. And that's my point. Question everything. Don't just be out here on some like, yeah, we good. You don't know. You don't know. How the fuck can I get this shit off of the thing? I'm trying to get y'all right, yo. I'm trying to get certain shit off the screen. It's a lot going on right now. This shit is acting stupid. Anyway, let's go to the next situation. Rob fucking Reiner. Rob fucking Reiner. Let me open this in a different genre. Rob Reiner. Y'all know he's the actor boy. All right. He got found dead in his home. Let me put this up on the screen. I don't know why the fuck I can't get rid of this advertisement. Anyway, I'm gonna put this on the screen for y'all. I don't know what the fuck this is. I can't get this other shit off the screen, but I'm gonna read it anyway. Rob Reiner's son Nick makes first court appearance after being charged with murder and deaths of his parents. Full coverage. Nick Reiner, 32, did not enter a plea and is being held without bail on first-degree murder charges in the fatal stabbing of Rob and Michelle Reiner. That's Rob Reiner, y'all, right there. Let me be very clear on Rob, okay? Rob Reiner was an anti-gunner. And I know y'all think I'm going to be so righteous about this, all right? I'm not going to be righteous about this. I'm just going to be right, okay? I'm going to be very clear. I made a post about this. Some of y'all might not like it. Y'all not going to like what I'm going to say about this. But before I say that, let me say this. Rob Reiner preached gun control. Rob Reiner got stabbed to death by his son. Him and his wife. They got stabbed to death. Violence can take all types of forms. It can have a wide range of tools. And it can come from the most unlikely people. His son killed him and his mom, his wife, the son's mom. Okay? Understanding human behavior and understanding situational awareness is critical. You start fixating, like Rob Reiner did, on guns as the problem, you distort what real danger looks like. You become less able to recognize threats. You can't assess risk and respond effectively when violence occurs because you go, oh, there's no guns around. I bet you Rob Reiner ass wish he would have had a gun now with his dead ass. Him and his wife. Dead. Gone. This is why I'm telling y'all, stop waiting until it's too late. And I know before we move on, I got to say this. A few things. I'm going to say something very, some are going to take offense to what I'm about to say after this about Rob Reiner. First, before I get to that, don't wait until it's too late and realize how unprepared you are and like blinded by politics and your values. Everybody don't share your fucking ethos. This is why we made the Solutionary 9. If you're a Democrat and you watching my show, I don't care. Independent, Libertarian, Tea Party, Green, I don't give a fuck. Violence does not ask you what political affiliation you have. Rob Reiner was talking all this anti-gun shit. He said the NRA's blood soaked. I made a post about it. Go look. And his son stabbed he and his wife. If you don't know how to recognize these types of things and respond in real time with confidence when those threats emerge, I don't give a fuck if it's a firearm, if it's a knife, somebody you never expected. Along the way, you gotta get these practical skills in order to be able to defend yourself. You gotta get knowledge of, is this justified use of deadly force? And you gotta be one of them people that's a part of our community that don't just sit on the sidelines. Again, guys, legacy access to Solutionary 9, all of these classes that we're talking about, civics, firearms, understanding imminent threat, all of the classes, $99. You can either donate at GiveSendGo.com/Solutionary, pay it for somebody else, hit the link in the description, or just go over to SolutionaryUniversity.org, depending on where you're watching this at. Okay? In 14 days, the price is going from $99 to $999. I'm just telling you. Get in now. There's people that's in the chat right now that are members of Solutionary University. Meal plans, macros, all of this transformative information. Okay? Now back to Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner, he didn't cause his own death, but he damn sure was the guardrails that aided in his own fucking death. I'm not going to go as far as what Donald Trump, how he approached him. Donald Trump shitted on him. Absolutely shitted on him in death. I'm not going to shit on him. But I'm also not going to say nice things about Rob Reiner. And I want y'all to stop doing that fake ass politically correct bullshit too. There are people let's go back to COVID. There are people that are asking for amnesty about how they treated you during COVID for just saying, I want to wait to see what happens. So conspiracy theorists are like, wait a little bit. Comes to find out, you were on the right side of history as it relates to that. The COVID vaccine. Okay? These people said, nighttime talk show host said, you shouldn't be able to participate in society. If you come into this motherfucker and you need to come into the hospital, if you have no vaccine, you don't get the heart transplant. This is what these people said. They didn't give a fuck about you. Y'all want to pretend like these people in death. They don't care about you. They don't care about your life. They have the exact opposite of what your way of life is. And I don't give a fuck about it. I don't. I'm not going to say anything negative about it. I'm just going to state the facts. He was anti-gun. He knew nothing about guns. He knew nothing about training. He knew nothing about situational awareness. And his son stabbed him to death. These are the people that talk about we need to end gun violence. Idris Elba probably going to get fucking stabbed. He's another anti-gunner that's now over there across the pond talking about we need to end knife violence. Idris Elba actually said we need to look into a way that we can get the points off of knives because the knife violence is outrageous. I bullshit you not. All of the women that thought Idris Elba was sexy, all of that shit went out the window. As soon as he started talking that anti-gun and knife violence bullshit. The guy that rose to prominence by playing a Baltimore gangster Stringer Bell. Okay? I don't give a fuck about Rob Reiner. He was in opposition to you having the means to defend your life. The Second Amendment, the Constitution, limiting government, the Bill of Rights, the thing that gives teeth to the rest of the Constitution and Bill of Rights, the Second Amendment, he was in opposition to it, and he would have people with guns, but if he had his druthers, come take your firearms away from you, people with guns. Fuck you. I don't like you. I don't care. It's like Scott Adams. Some of y'all dick riding Scott. Scott Adams literally got on X and said, I'm not going to hang with black people. I just don't want to be, if you're white, don't be around black people. That's not the American ideal. Now Scott Adams caught cancer. Now a few days ago, he's paralyzed, getting on Twitter, talking about I'm paralyzed from the waist down. I don't give a fuck, Scott. I don't give a fuck. You a collectivist. If you one of them black people that's like, oh, all white people are the devil. That's not true. That means you a collectivist. I don't fuck with that. The American ideal is limiting government, rugged individualism, maintaining a standard of high standards. And if that individual is up, lifting him or herself up, and everybody's doing that, then we have respect for property rights, limited government, free market enterprise. That's the American ideal. Anything that is super collectivist, that's not voluntary exchange, and it's forced, it's un-American. It's bitch shit. So when you say, oh, because some black people do the wrong thing, I'm just white people, I'm going to tell you to not. And then I see some of my homies still dick riding Scott Adams. I don't give a Dilbert didn't fucking change the world. I don't give a fuck. Maybe the larceny in these people's heart and their disrespect for people's lives and their individual want to defend themselves, how ironic that you are talking about this is going to stop violence and you get stabbed to death and you had no way to defend yourself. I think that's called karma. That's what I think. It's not me wishing death. It's not me wishing death. It's me going, you're an anti-gunner. You swore that the problem was guns. Your child stabbed you to death with your wife because you weren't man enough to have the means to defend yourself from enemies, foreign and domestic. You got what your hand called for. Stop thinking you gotta show yourself as the nice guy, because that's why most of y'all are doing it. Oh, well, the left would make fun of us. The left would make fun of us, so we're better than that. No, this is a standard. You the ops. You are in opposition to everything that my life is about. I'm not being nice to you. I don't owe you that. I reserve my niceness for my loved ones and my tribe. Solutionaries. I could give a fuck about anybody that's not on this solutionary shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Are you trying to improve yourself? Are you trying to improve your community by improving the people around you? Then you my tribe. Are you being objective, nuanced, thinking, critical, and firm? If that's what you're doing, cool. You with me. I'm with you. I'll bend over backwards and break my neck to make sure that you're straight. But if you're not with that, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't. I'm not calling for anything to life. You are calling what your hand is calling for. Give a fuck? I don't give a fuck. I don't care. You people are advocating for universal basic income. You people are damaging to the fucking free market enterprise that America's supposed to be. You people are advocating for the destruction of the dollar and asking for more and more government and collectivism. It's a fucking cancer. I don't give a fuck what your hand does that your hand called for. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about Rob Reiner. I don't care. Bookworm says, okay, Maj, but what about people who aren't bad people but heavily propagandized? It's not that so let me say it this way. I don't wish ill on any of them. Love and hate are just opposite ends of the spectrum. They're not even on my spectrum. I'm indifferent. I don't give a fuck. That's like when people be like, I feel bad for you. I don't even think about you. I don't even, I'm trying to get, Bruce Lee abs. I care more about the first 10 minutes of my workout than I care about these people that have this collectivist division mindset. Do y'all understand that? It's indifferent. It's not that I want to fuck you up or fuck you. It's not any of that. It's I don't give a. I don't even have. It's almost like asking me, what's the marital status of the color blue? It just doesn't even go together. What's the marital status of the color blue? It just doesn't even compute. I do not. If they heavily propagandize, you are either a willing participant in propaganda and you were wrong, which means you were not objective enough to get the information, and you trusted government. And if you do trust government, I'm automatically like, okay, you're either down with them or stupid. Either one, I'm good. So if you propagandized and you weren't open to new information, you're not my tribe. When I say, I don't think that was a 30-06 based on these experiences, but there's other questions that we have to ask to get the actual information, right? To make a proper assessment. And if I don't have that information, like the fucking rifle, like what load was and what grain was in that round, what were the other conditions? I cannot make that definitive statement. And that's objective. That's stoicism. That's me going, I don't think based on my anecdotal experience, but just because it hasn't happened with you Doesn't mean I'm not a hunter all of the time. I hunted a few times. But if you ask a hunter that's hunted 2,000 times, he might be like, yeah, that's possible. And you got to own that. So if I'm objective enough to do that, and if that person is propagandizing, all right, you ain't my squad. I don't care. Like, I always say I don't have any ex-girlfriends. If you left my circle, you were never there. I don't give a fuck about you. See, this is the problem. Y'all used to people like fake hard. I'm the nicest person in the world. However, when I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck. If you got ran over by a train and I could stop the train, and the question was, Maj, if you stop the train, you gonna be 10 minutes late to the job that you hate. Do you stop the train? My answer would be no. No, they mean that little to me. I just don't think about it. I just don't. What we're at risk here is losing America as we know it. And that's based on people that are either ignorant or are fucking collaborators with the Decepticons. I'm Optimus Prime out this bitch. I'm a Autobot. I'm one of the good guys. Okay? But I will fuck you up as a good guy. So anything that's like in the way of the good guy approach, there needs to be righteous warriors. So there's a certain level of you gone. You either stupid or you down with the Decepticons. So because of that, I'm good. Rob Reiner was one of those. Maybe not to the same extent was Scott Adams, but I've asked some of my friends, like, what did he mean? What context was I missing about just move away from all black people? See, that's very divisionary. And I'm not a divisionary person. If you put yourself on that side of the fence with me, cool. For me, it's forever fuck the other side. Forever. If your granny pick up your flag, it's fuck her too. That's how it is with me. Okay? Because we're fighting for the defense of an ideal that has created something super, super positive for the world. It's almost like Kemet. It's almost like the 42 laws of Ma'at. It was something so, the science of ancient Kemet, or which y'all know it as Egypt, was so powerful that every other like empire and whatever pulled from it, right? The Constitution, the Bill of Rights being pulled from the Magna Carta, you know what I mean? And like this concept of the individual being its own republic, then it being codified in founding documents in the experiment that was focused on individual freedom that creates room for collective freedom. That's something that I think is worth fighting for. So if somebody doesn't understand that and they lean with collectivism, I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck you. If you're advocating, if you're a leftist and you happen to be white, right? And you happen to say, I'm your ally, you're my ally, and you're advocating for me to not have the means to defend myself, you're not my ally. That's it. You're not my ally. If I tell you gun control was started to make sure that black people could not defend themselves from captivity, and you like, yeah, let's get some more of that. Clearly, you're not my fucking ally. I don't care about your fucking, well, the death toll and the fake stats, and I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. That's an enemy. That's what Terry just said. That's an enemy. That's not the ally. The fuck are you talking about? You don't want me to have the means to defend myself? You stupid. Get the fuck out of my face. That's how we got to start being. And this does not mean that we then become collectivists. It just goes, it's like an x-ray machine. When they walk past your Constitution, limited government, free market enterprise, individuals have rights. When they walk through that scan, if they beep, they got to get the fuck out. Or they go re-education camp, civics, health and fitness, firearms, run them through Solutionary University. Then they walk through and they pass the scan and they're your tribe again. The people that are misinformed and got a lot of mouth, like a Rob Reiner, see, these people think because they're actors and have been famous for a while that we supposed to give a fuck about their opinion. I'm not supposed to, or you think you can hide behind your sickness or your death. I don't give a fuck if Scott Adams dies. People die every day, B. He tough, right? He ain't want no black people to help him. You tough, right? You cool? The ancestors came and took your fucking legs. I don't care. You a collectivist. If something happened to Nick Fuentes next week, I will not give a fuck. I don't care. Oh, well, he was so good at communicating about the Israeli government. Duh. Governments are corrupt. This is not a heavy fucking lift. Anybody that has any understanding of world history knows. Don't trust government. The founders of America was like, we limiting government as much as possible. So somebody articulating with the Israeli government, lobbying, spying, like this is not fucking new. This is not a heavy lift that he can articulate it well. There's other people that can articulate it well without being a collectivist, without saying, I admire Hitler. I don't give a fuck about a motherfucker that died next week if he admired Hitler. One less motherfucking commie. I don't care. Well, see, I'm American as fuck. America made me this way. I don't give a fuck what happened to none of these collectivists. I care about y'all. I fight and serve and work for y'all. I don't listen to these fucking dorks. Why would I listen to Scott Adams or Rob Reiner? Why? Why the fuck would I listen to Rob Reiner or Scott Adams? What impact on the fucking world has Dilbert had? What the fuck? Rob Reiner gave an amazing performance in The Wolf of Wall Street as Leonardo DiCaprio's dad. 1000%. Outside of that, I don't give a fuck about you, bro. You ain't promoting the ideals of America. I don't give a fuck about you. If you are promoting a group of people are collectively evil, you are a collectivist. You are the antithesis of the American ideals that helped end slavery. You are the opposite of that. I don't fuck with you. I laugh that your legs are fucked up now. Maybe you should reflect on what you was putting out into the universe. And I'm not saying that I wish that on you. I'm saying you just said to me, you think you're superior and you want to extract resources and intelligent because you think you're smarter than the black people. Cool. Why the fuck would I pretend like I care about you? I don't. In any way. I'm questioning why so many of my homies are still like, pray for Scott Adams. Oh, I'm not like the left. I'm not going to say anything negative about Rob Reiner. I don't owe him anything other than non-aggression. I want y'all to take that note. The world owes you nothing but non-aggression. It's all the world owes you. They don't owe you help. We work together collectively. Okay? Albie Fresh said, Rob Reiner did make Stand By Me. Never fucking saw it. Might have been great. Never seen it. Did Rob Reiner see Hood Classic Friday? Did Rob Reiner see, you know what movies I like? I like The Never Ending Story. Shit. I like New Jack City. I like the other guys. I love The Office. I like Boys in the Hood. I like motherfucking The Golden Child. I like 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s movies. Did Rob Reiner have anything to do with any of them? No? Fuck him. I choose one of the characters that Eddie Murphy has ever played in a movie over Rob Reiner's entire discography. I don't even know what his discography is. I choose one character from one movie, one of the older gentlemen in the barbershop in Coming to America makes more sense to me from Eddie Murphy than everything that Rob Reiner may have done. I don't care. Here's another reason why I'll land here. Rob Reiner did not do one very simple thing. Rob Reiner did not protect his wife, did not protect himself. Rob Reiner let his political ideology, and his son knew that. I bet you if his son would have had a motherfucker, man, listen. If his son would have known, my dad's strapped. I can't do that. I bet you his son wouldn't have tried it. But see, that's where your ignorance come in. He waited until it's too late. Rob Reiner should have took a damn Solutionary 9 couple of courses. Rob Reiner didn't even recognize his son was coming in. Your son Michael Myers you. Because you ain't had no means to protect yourself and your wife. Why am I supposed to respect that? That's true. This is true. Listen, if you got children, listen to what Super Weapons just said, y'all. Artax in the swamp and the never-ending story still hurts to this day. It does. I'm getting emotional now thinking about it. I'm getting emotional. I don't even want my daughter to see that shit, bro. You know what I mean? And I got the never-ending story on DVD. We be in the RV watching DVDs all of the time. You know what I mean? I don't let my daughter watch this. If y'all don't know, there's a scene in the never-ending story where Atreyu, his horse, gets stuck in the quicksand. Oh my God. And he's just screaming, and the horse won't get out of the quicksand. Oh my God. And the nothing is coming after him. Oh! Jesus Christ. Y'all know I'm doing the movies with Maj, right? I love movies. Actually, if y'all not on my Instagram page, follow my Instagram page, Big Daddy 2 Ray. I just did a little brief something on The Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise, and it's posted over there now. Go look it up. If you've seen the movie The Edge of Tomorrow, you know what I'm talking about. It's on my Instagram page, Big Daddy 2 Ray. Bookworm, you don't know that movie. The Never-Ending Story. The Never-Ending Story is dope. And I promise you, I'm going to move on. Just let me nerd out. I'm a fucking nerd. Let me nerd out. All right? The Never-Ending Story. The Princess Bride. Oh. No, I haven't. I haven't watched Apocalypse Now yet. Wait, is Rob Reiner in it? My point, guys, is don't wait until it's too late. Just don't. Rob Reiner did, and it cost him his life. And let me be clear too. I don't give a fuck, but at the same time, I'm not saying that these things should have happened to him. So I want to be clear about that. This ain't me like trying to like shit on me, man. Like I don't give a fuck about him, but I don't think he deserved that. Next, Bondi Beach shooting suspect charged with terrorism and 15 counts of murder. I was going to skip over this tonight, but I'm not. And we're going to wrap up here shortly, y'all. I just miss y'all. I ain't talked to y'all in a week. I only talk to y'all once a week now. You know what I'm saying? Yo, is that serious? Wait, Sin Diesel, are you serious? Sin Diesel just said, no, you bullshitting. You trolling. You are fucking trolling, bro. Sin Diesel, you are trolling. There's no way. Somebody see if this is true. Somebody grok this. Sin Diesel says, FYI, The Princess Bride was directed by Rob Reiner. There's no fucking way. If that's the case, then see how this is where we about to be objective. Somebody look this up and tell me, Sin, tell me you trolling. I'm about to look this shit up right now. Y'all got to bear with me. Because now I got to reevaluate Rob Reiner as a human. Did Rob Reiner direct The Princess Bride? You get the fuck out of here. There's no way. Get the fuck out of here. He did. Oh, God damn. We lost the legend, y'all. We lost the legend in Rob Reiner, guys. Oh. Oh. We lost the legend. Rob Reiner. You will forever be missed. Let me read this, y'all. Yes, I asked Grok. Rob Reiner directed the 19. I promise y'all, this was not me. I just said that movie because it's one of my favorite movies. He wasn't in it, so fuck it. But he directed it. All right. Rob Reiner directed the 1987 film The Princess Bride. Damn. And he co-produced it. Damn. He should have had a motherfucking gun. He knew the son gonna come back to avenge the death. He should have had a gun. Oh man, we lost the legend, y'all. Shouts to Rob Reiner. That's one of the good things he did. What else did this motherfucker do? All right, I gotta give him love for that. See that how that works, guys? As Solutionaries, I am presented with new information. I still think he made a goofy anti-gun move, and I give him his props for The Princess Bride. If you have children, I usually show my children 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s stuff. Right? Family Matters. Get a DVD player. Get DVDs. They cheap as shit. Okay? Have physical copies. I got rows of them in the RV. Okay? But anyway, The Princess Bride is a refreshing, amazing story. It's a love story. It's action. It's kind of funny. It's cheesy, but it's just a good movie. Right? A good, wholesome family movie. I'm into wholesome shit. Me personally. Okay? I am a nerd. Bookworms talking about some okay boomer. Whatever. I keep telling y'all I'm 78 years old. You know what I mean? I'm 78 years old. Super Weapon says, where's the place to get physical media in Philly? In Philly, I don't know. But there's one Blockbuster still left in America. I think it's in, I think this shit might be in Colorado. Might be. I'm not sure. But here's what you do. If you got an old computer, buy an old computer, pawn shop, stuff like that. Burn the DVDs. You can still get blanks wholesale. Wholesome content is the shit, man. I don't play around. I still watch The Cosby Show. I watch Family Matters. I watch Fresh Prince. I watch Martin. I watch stuff that's before my time. I watch Leave It to Beaver. I watch Knight Rider. I watch The A-Team. I watch if my uncles and shit that like my uncles and those guys watched, I just watch what they watched. You know what I'm saying? That's how I do. And then I share that. Like The Cosby Show. I love The Cosby Show. Love it. Family Matters. Show my daughter all the time. Okay? But anyway, Bookworm said the library, Dollar General, or Walmart clearance bins. Yeah, they still have DVDs. Get a DVD player, y'all. The reason why they leaning everybody into streaming is because you won't physically own anything. You mean? They don't want you to own anything. If you own shit, you can control what was said, as opposed to we can get money off of you and you never physically own it. You see what I'm saying? It's wild. So get physical things. Don't get too caught up in the accessibility and the convenience. Convenience means you're paying for it in a different way. But look into them older movies, older DVDs. If you want something to look, Full House, fucking Saved by the Bell, the Twilight shit, that's my shit. Exactly. Look what Bookworm just said. I never thought about that until they took Trump's scene out of Home Alone. They just snatched Trump's scene, Trump all out the joint. And the crazy thing is, I think that was his hotel that they was in. Or he owned it or had a controlling interest in it. And they took him out the damn movie. Get DVDs, y'all. Get DVDs. They're trying to play the game on you, right? My point, though, guys, is as far as Rob Reiner, I still don't give a fuck about him for the anti-gun part. But I love that he made The Princess Bride. And now it is to be said that he did do something that had a positive impact in my life. And I appreciate that. That I can balance that out, right? It's very, very, you know what I mean? G Coalition brother says something very powerful here. He said, you can control, or to be more precise, you can preserve what was said when it's on DVDs. For those of y'all that don't know, I spent years in Philadelphia selling DVDs. I am a movie person. I love movies. I can't wait to watch the new. Don't spoil it. I'm going to say this. Don't fucking spoil it. If any of you fuckers spoil this after I say this, I'm going to block you forever. All right? There's a new Knives Out. The first Knives Out was amazing, right? With Daniel Craig and whatever, right? The second one was trash. And there's a new one that came out on Netflix a few days ago. I haven't saw it yet. I'm waiting to watch it. But I want to hear what y'all think about it if anybody did see it. Because I really like whodunits. I like movies like older joints like Death Becomes Her with Bruce Willis. I love that movie. I love Forrest Gump. Anybody that says they don't like Forrest Gump, get the fuck out of here. All right? But anyway, let's move on. Bondi Beach shooting suspect charged with terrorism and 15 counts of murder. Preliminary evidence indicates Naveed Akram, 24, staged a terrorist attack inspired by ISIS, police said Wednesday. The first funerals for victims were held under tight security. Let's jump to it. If you did not know, this dude shot a gang of people with a bolt action. He was charged after he awoke from a coma in a Sydney hospital. This is Sydney, Australia, having been shot by police. He's alleged to have carried out an Islamic State-inspired attack on the Hanukkah celebration alongside his father, Sajid Akram, 50 years old. The charges came as the first funerals for the victims were held under tight security, not far from the scene of the massacre. Investigators were meanwhile turning their attention to the suspect's alleged ISIS connection, including a trip to a southern island of the Philippines seen in the past as a hotspot for extremism. Akram was also charged with 40 counts of causing grievous bodily harm with intent to murder and 1 count of committing a terrorist act, discharging firearms, placing explosives, and publicly displaying a terrorist organization symbol. I don't give a fuck about that. I give a fuck about him killing people. Simple and plain. All right. Now, here's the questions that we got to ask about this. First of all, this is where I'm going to get sexist. The female officers hid during the attack. You cannot rely on other people, the government specifically, for protection. Period. Period. You can't. Civilians jumped in and intervened. You seen one of the dudes grab one of the guys with the guns, took the gun from him. And some people actually were getting mad at him for doing that. That was some of the most gangster G shit of all time. Whoever main man was, I appreciate and salute him. All right? Most people have no idea what they are doing in an emergency because they lack training. If you guys are getting the hint, we always going to go back to training and going to solutions. LB Fresh says it's a false flag. I'm always hesitant to throw that title out there. If people died, fake or not, people died. People died. Now, unless we... So, for me, real fresh, are you saying nobody really died? I don't know if I could agree with that. But if it's a false, meaning sleeper cells and or Manchurian candidates, listen, I understand that fucking certain operations happen in MK Ultra, mind control. I'm not in opposition to that. I'm just saying the deaths and how we stop the deaths is they were shooting a bunch of people and there were people filming. There's a bunch of content, right? Imagine if all of those people had guns and could put effective rounds on a bad guy. And I know some of y'all about to say, they wouldn't be able to shoot somebody from 50 yards away, 100 yards away with a pistol. Yes, the fuck you can. I've hit the gong at Hickok's house with a subcompact. 100 and some change out. It could be done. Okay? But you know why that isn't usually done? One, Australia's fucking anti-gun. What was the Australian government's responsible or reaction to this? We're going to tighten up on gun control. You motherfuckers. You already got all of the gun control. You already got it. You already got all of the gun control. Why you need more gun control? That's how he was able to shoot so many people. But if your government says, we don't want you to have guns, we don't want you to have the means to defend yourself. If the bad guy gets a gun and start picking people off, and then one upstanding gentleman jumps and wrestles a firearm away from it, people are so fucking asleep at the wheel, zombie land, that they'll get mad at the guy that wrestled the gun away from the murderer. The answer here is training and information, guys. Most people have no idea what they would do in an emergency. This is why we have a Stop the Bleed class. This is why we have a Know Your Rights class. This is why we have a Firearms Basics class. This is why we have an Understanding Imminent Threat class. And it's easy to talk about what you would do from the internet, but it's impossible without preparation and training. Show of hands in the chat. How many people have taken a Force on Force class? Paintball, whatever. Pellets, whatever. Tell me. Scenario-based training is when the rounds is coming back the other way too. Very, very important. So it's easy to say what you would have did if you don't train. It's easy to say how you would have responded. I'm telling y'all that we all should be training. Another show of hands. Tell me in the chat. How many of you have not taken... Give me a better chat, right? Give me a better one for the chat, right? How many of you are enrolled at Solutionary University? Super Weapons took some training. How many of you have access to all of the classes at Solutionary University? I'm not dissing y'all, I promise. I just want yay or nay. I want to hear y'all in the chat. Just type it in. While I continue to move forward, I'll go back and read them. But just type it in. Yo, Maj, I took this class. Yo, Maj, I haven't taken any classes. All right? Just put it in the chat. Gun control does not prevent evil. Australia literally is saying, let's expand restrictions. So y'all had all of the gun control. Somebody shot everybody. Then you like, let's get more gun control. You fucking moron. You fucking mope. You fucking mope. Sharice T says she took one. Bookworm took civics. Superworm said one class. Give me some more. Let me know what y'all think. 15 people died in this, and it took officers over 10 minutes to respond. Meanwhile, let's say if half of the people that pulled out their phone, if half of them pulled out guns and shot the bad guy, they would have saved some lives. Good people were sitting ducks, while officers that were sent to protect them were largely ineffective. Took 10 minutes. The female officers cowered in fear, hid behind motherfucking cars, with some masculine stud ran up on him and wrestled the gun from him. A sovereign individual from the country of Australia did that with no gun. Shouts that snuck up behind him, bear hugged him. Salute. But we're supposed to wait on the government. Fuck you. Fuck you. I don't care what happens. I do not care. I'm always have it. Always. I might have a few, right? You never know. You never know. But y'all know, because y'all are solutionaries. Listen, y'all. Violence does not check your fucking calendar. When something happened, the time to hope somebody else show up in time, that's not the time for it. Preparation is not fucking optional, and you cannot afford to wait. I have literally trained thousands of men, women, people to be stronger, sharper, and ready for whatever life throw at. I've done it. You got 14 days to join the Solutionary 9, get Legacy lifetime access for $99, and step up into the being that is capable, decisive, and impossible to fucking break. Stop waiting for somebody else to teach you how to survive. And I'm not saying this as if we don't need to get information. I'm not saying it that way. I'm saying get the information, act now, or like the alternative is what? Risk being unprepared when it matters the fuck most? None of them 15 people that died that day thought, hey, maybe today I should have a first aid kit. I should have a fucking gun. Because there's going to be two weirdos, a dad and a son, that's going to be trying to pick us off during our Hanukkah festival. That shit ain't like it come on Tuesday. That's not what the fuck happens. Stop. Take the class. Enroll. Get access now. You can help two ways. One, pay it forward to somebody else. Everybody that donates at givesendgo.com/solutionary, $99 or more, I'm going to have your email. Let me show y'all this real quick. This was literally last night and today. Let me show y'all this. Listen, I ain't going to say his name, but it's right here. I'm reading my DMs. Hey, question for you. I was thinking of gifting one of your courses to a few guys for Christmas. Is that possible? Do you offer gift certificates or anything like that? If so, how does it work? Thank you. I said, yeah, just grab the class and just send them the onboarding email. Which course did you want? He said, not sure yet, but probably the imminent threat one. It's for 5 different people. I said, if that's the case, do it this way. Donate $100 to our classes. I'll have your email and I'll reach out to you. He said, very cool. Thank you. Will do today. Right? I sent him the link. At 5:31, he said, done. Then when I go over to GiveSendGo, I knew it was him as soon as I saw it. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Today, he donated $100. That's him right there. I don't know if y'all can see that. Anyway, then I shot him an email and said, give me the emails of the people that you want to get the classes for. Guys. And he has access. So he donated for other people, and I just gave him access. Okay? That's one way that you can do it. Just donate at givesendgo.com/solutionary. We pay it forward for other people to get classes for free, and you get access to all of these classes at Solutionary University. If you're just selfish and you don't believe in donating, fine. Just go over to solutionaryuniversity.org. The link is in the description box. If you're watching this on X, it's my pinned post up at the top. If you're watching this anywhere else, it's in the description box. Solutionaryuniversity.org. Sign up for the Solutionary 9. We cannot rely on this government. They playing a different game. They sending your money over to other fucking countries, pretending like they care. They acting like, oh, we're trying to protect you from drugs in Venezuela. They about to do a whole nother fucking war with Venezuela for oil. That's the same as fucking Iraq and Iran. Same thing. They got drugs instead of weapons of mass destruction. They don't give a fuck about you. And then they'll attempt to tell you you don't have the means to defend yourself. Absolute goofy time. Leave them on goofy time. Empower yourself. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. I'll have your email just like the brother. His first name's Bill. Just like him. I'll have your email. I'll send you access to all of the classes. Or just sign up at solutionaryuniversity.org. I want to thank y'all all for tapping in. I'll see y'all next week. Unless you got questions, shoot me a DM, inbox, Maj2Ray at solutionaryuniversity.org. I'll chop it up with y'all. But I want everybody to be informed and empowered. This transformative information is what's necessary to turn you into the person that can actually defend yourself. A lot of y'all said y'all took the civics class or took one of the classes. Get access to all of them for life. And I'm telling y'all to cheat. Get logged in. Share your password with your family members like it's Netflix. Everybody in your household should be able to learn off of this $99. And you even do a double and triple up if you donate and you still get the classes and you still help somebody else and you still can share the classes with other family members. I want all of you empowered. All of you. Transformative information. You're in shape. We macros, meal, all of this stuff to empower yourself. Because the government ain't coming to fucking do it. GiveSendGo.com/Solutionary. Thank y'all all. Share the space all over the place. Repost all over the place. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all next week. Unless y'all follow me on social media, because y'all know I love social media. I love DMs. Unless you thick and attractive, I got to send you to my assistant. Okay. However, outside of that, if you got questions and all that other good stuff, I love to engage you guys. I'll see y'all next week, same time, same channel. Be safe, be solution.